Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jamber. Today, like I've been doing the past week and a half or now, it's only going to be NBA and NFL today. I'm going to start going to the MLB a little more. Starting next week, I'll be picking up MLB a lot more. I got to start talking about that more. It's not getting enough recognition around here, at least for me. So I'm going to start talking about that a little more. But today, we got our 5 topics. Starting off, talk about the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James, the future of the Lakers, basically, and the futures of LeBron and the Lakers. Talk about the Kia MIP award that was handed out last night. We'll talk about that. After that, we're talking about the top names in the 2025 NBA draft, maybe where they'll go, where they're at right now. Preview the 2 NBA playoff games tonight, and finally to end it off, talking about Jordan Travis retires. Jordan Travis, he retired medically due to his leg injury. I'll talk about that on the show tonight. Before we get to any of that, though, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it's showing that you guys are caring about the content that we're putting out, and we're putting out the best content that we possibly can. So if you do want to tip or donate and show your support and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream, feel free to do that with the 2 links in the bio and in the description. Even if you don't want to tip or donate and you want to show your support, feel free to leave a comment in the live stream comment section, the YouTube comment section, wherever. If you want me to see, you want to talk about sports, or you just want me to see your comment, do it. I'll comment it anywhere. I'll get to it as soon as I can. I love being able to talk to you guys. That's my job. And, seeing you guys show support to us just by, tipping, donating, or leaving a comment means the world. So feel free to do that. And if you're in the live stream, like I said, I'll see that comment right away and I'll get to that. And if I'm not, and if you're leaving the YouTube, I'll get to that as soon as I can. But like I originally said, if you do want to super donate to show your support, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. And you're not in the live stream, feel free to do that with the 2 links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's get into topic number 1 for today. LeBron James and the Lakers. Talk about it. The Lakers have officially lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round of the 2025 NBA playoffs. They lost 4-1. 4-1, Minnesota wins, moving on to the next round of the NBA playoffs, Western Conference semifinals. And no one saw that coming. A lot of people, including Shannon Sharp, who, kind of started the Lakers in 5 trend, it's just, no one saw it coming. No one saw the Lakers not only losing, but losing in 5 games. People thought this series would be longer, or, so it's like something along those lines. But no, Lakers they just didn't play how they were supposed to. They got outplayed in most games in the series. But even when they didn't, last night with the Timberwolves shooting an abysmal 7 for 47 beyond the arc, and they lose by 20 points, that's horrible. 15 of their 130 points are coming from threes, and you're losing by 20. The Lakers cannot be having that at all. You should not be losing games when your opponents are only shooting like 11% from the field, three-point land. Absolutely, just can't be losing those games. Not at all. But regardless, like I said, the Lakers have lost. They have lost in the playoffs, and it's over. They're done. So what does that mean for the future of the LA Lakers and LeBron James? LeBron James, will he retire? Will he keep playing to see his second son, Bryce, make it into the league? And I think the answer to that one is option number B. I think he's publicly stated multiple times, or a few times at least, that he wants to be in the league long enough to where he'll be able to play with both of his sons. Maybe not with them, just for them to be in the league at the same time And I don't believe that he's going to quit until Bryce enters the league within the next 2 years, whether it be the G League or just, maybe he gets, if he's that good, he gets drafted out of college. Because he committed to Arizona, and, he's a great basketball player. Honestly, maybe a better player than Bryce. People are comparing the two. They're saying Bryce is better, or Bronny's better. Who knows? But I think from what I've seen, from the tapes, from the highlight reels, I think Bryce is the better overall player. But you never know until you go to college. So, yeah. But so will LeBron retire? Absolutely not. I don't think he will. He's still got gas in the tank. He dropped 24 points last night. He's not. What other 40-year-old is gonna drop 40 points? No one but LeBron. Yeah, MJ. But LeBron has just been doing it so consistently for so long. He has no reason to retire. He's still got it, and not only would he I just don't see him retiring because he finally got Luka. I think he's been wanting to play with Luka for a while. The Lakers went all out for him. They traded Anthony Davis, who's a longtime friend of LeBron and a 10-year teammate of LeBron since 2019, when he came in. I think there's no reason he retires. I absolutely do not believe that. The Lakers just went all out. And not even really all out. They just got Luka for a deal for literally AD. But there's no way he retires. That was crazy. My yawning is so bad, but I thought it's definitely not because I'm tired, because I slept for 12 hours, 8 hours last night. Actually, I'm exaggerating. 8 hours. Just had a little caffeine to, to make sure I don't yawn. I think my body just gets tired on the air. Really confusing. Don't know why, but who knows. But, yeah. So LeBron, will he retire? Absolutely not. I don't think he will. I think he's going to stick around till, until Bryce gets in the league. Give it 2 years, and he'll be in the league, and then maybe he'll play, his one season, see that Bryce is in the league, and then he'll call it quits after that. I think that's what he's been intending to do, and that's what he's going to happen. He's going for Bryce to get into the league, and then, so, yeah, I don't see the Lakers, their future, who knows? Giannis, he's he's going to be a free agent. He's going to want out. And a lot of speculation is that Giannis is going to go to the Lakers. Lakers are going to go, because it's the LA Lakers, biggest team in basketball, one of the biggest in the world. And just historically, what if they manage to land Giannis because they have, I believe, it's just yawning, man. I'm gonna leave it. I don't know why I'm yawning so much, but the Bucks have one first round draft pick over the next 7 seasons till 2032. They have one first round draft pick. So the Lakers could be willing to give up what I think they would do: Rory Hachimura, Jackson Hayes, Austin Reeves, and then a few for 2 or 3 first round picks. And I think they do all that for Giannis, and maybe there's some other random player on the team. And there'll be a third team in there as well, maybe a fourth, getting players here and there. But, unless the Lakers have, it's one of the biggest teams in the world, market-wise, they have everything. They have everything a team needs, everything that a team wants. So why not go for Giannis? It would just bring even more publicity to them, bring them more money, bring them more fans. So, why not? And they 100% can afford it. It's the Lakers. They have all the money in the world. The cap space isn't a problem for them. Why not go for it? Screw it. So, I think, honestly, the future of the Lakers, honestly, even though they lost, is not dark at all. They have so much, potential to build an even better roster. I don't know why I'm yawning. I literally haven't yawned all day until I get on this camera. It's really weird. But, the future of the Lakers is nowhere dark at all. It is honestly only sunshine and rainbows for the Lakers. Yeah, they lost yesterday. They're out of the playoffs now. But next year, if they make the right offseason moves, they will be a very, very good team. Especially if LeBron stays, who still got gas in the tank. Luka hopefully comes back fully healthy, rest off. He's been sick recently, but you can't really control being sick. But his ankle, rest that up. The sun is bright in LA, and it's bright for the Lakers. I'll tell you that right now. There are no reason for the Lakers to be, scared. They've been contenders every year since 2020, since they won their bubble championship. Or not really contenders, but I wouldn't say elite contenders, but high caliber team in the West. So nothing to fear for them. They're right where they want to be. They're in a perfect spot, and they got nothing to worry about. So the future for the Los Angeles Lakers is very bright. That's all I got for this first segment. Next segment, we're staying with the NBA. Talking about the MIP award, who won it last night. After that, we're sticking with the NBA again. We're going to talk about the top names in the 2025 NBA draft. Sticking with the NBA after that, we'll preview the playoff games for tonight, and then end it off talking about Jordan Travis and his medical retirement. We'll get to all that after the break.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Chamber. First segment, we talked about the LA Lakers, future over there, especially with LeBron. Just talked about all that. This segment, segment number 2, we're talking about the Kia Most Improved Player Award, who won it last night. Talk about that a little bit. Next segment, we're talking about We're talking about the top names in the 2025 NBA draft coming up in a month or so, or 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. Next, final segment number 4, preview the 2 games for tonight. After that, end off talking about Jordan Travis and his medical retirement from the NFL. Sorry, I've been fun with doing disturb. Don't want to get any distractions while I'm streaming. Before we get into any of that though, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it's showing that you guys care about the content we're putting out, and we're putting out the best content that we possibly can. So if you do want to tip or donate, show your support and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream, the 2 links in the bio and in the description. Even if you don't want to tip or donate and you still want to show your support, a comment is always appreciated. By commenting, it's showing you guys are kind of following along and just you want me to talk about something, I'll talk about it. That's what I'm here for. My job is talk about sports, and if you guys have sports questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. There's a hair in my eye too. That's uncomfortable. That is really uncomfortable. Well, it'll go away. Yeah. So feel free to comment, and I'll get to that as soon as I can. Especially if it's in the live stream section, I'll see that as soon as you post it. So I'll get to that right away. But if you just want to put it in the YouTube comment section, if you're watching on YouTube right now, I'll get to that as soon as I see it. As soon as you comment it, I'll get the notification. I'll respond to it as fast as I can. But like I said, if you want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and the sticker feature. And if you're not in the live stream, the 2 links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's get into segment number 2, the Kia Most Improved Award. NBA Most Improved Player award is, for the player who kind of, stepped up the most this year from the previous year. They've taken a big leap in their game. They've played great for the team, not only the team, but, helped the team succeed, but also, made them become a better player overall. And the candidates were Cade Cunningham of the Detroit Pistons, Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks, and Ivan Zubac of the Los Angeles Clippers. And yesterday on the show, I talked about this. I previewed who I thought was going to win. I said, as a Pistons fan, I think Cade's going to win it. As an NBA fan, I think Ivan Zubac would win it. And I was wrong on both of those. Congratulations to the 2025 Kia Most Improved Player Award, Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks. He had a phenomenal season. Sorry, this hairs are really bugging me still. He had a phenomenal season. He's taking a huge jump, 100%. He obviously, I didn't think Cade was gonna. I thought Cade was gonna win it, but I had my kind of superstitions, I guess you would say, or I'm not really sure what the word for that is, but I had my doubts. That's what I was looking for, doubts. I had my doubts because he's a first overall pick. He's never a bad player. He's never been bad his whole career. He's been great his entire career. So I'm not really sure why he was going to win the award. I'm not even sure why he was nominated in the first place. He was never a bad player. Yeah, he helped take the Pistons team, from 14 wins to 44 in the playoffs. So maybe that took a leadership role in the team, a huge leadership role. And maybe that's what they were thinking about, which I thought was kind of weird to nominate a first overall pick for. I 100% thought as an NBA fan it was going to be Ivan Zubac, though. He has just had a phenomenal season this year. He has taken a huge jump in all of his play. Defensive play, offensive play, interior paint play. I mean, he's been playing great his whole since he's been traded to the Clippers. And from LA, he got traded from LA, Los Angeles Lakers to Los Angeles Clippers. And this year in particular, he has really just had a phenomenal career. He's averaging a double-double. He's averaging 11 points and 11 boards. And his, centers don't really get assists, so don't worry about that. It's not unless you're Jokic, who just averages 13 assists a game. It's insane. But Ivan Zubac, I 100% thought was going to win it. But the award last night, I got the announcement at the gym that Dyson Daniels won it. Very, happy for him. That's awesome. You win an award. Winning awards are always good. It really helps show that you're a legitimate player. You've been playing great your whole career, or this year at least. And he won it. He 100% did. Last year he was averaging about 9 points, 6 rebounds, and a few assists a game. Jumped those numbers up from 9 points to 15, 6 rebounds to 9, and about 1 or 2 assists to about 3 or 4. But he wasn't really known for his scoring. He was known for being a great defender. Like I said yesterday on the show, his nickname, he's from Australia, is the Great Barrier Thief. And, because the Great Barrier Reef around Australia. But they call him the Great Barrier Thief because of his ability to steal the basketball. And they'll thief steal. And he's a great stealer. He is just I think on sports books, I'm pretty sure he averages here around 2 steals a game. 2 steals a game on most sports books. He'd be averaging, if you wanted to take it over on steals, it'd be 2.5, which is insane. 2.5. If you're going for 3 steals a game, insane. That's a lot of steals. That really is a lot of steals on the average game. And it really just shows how big of a leap he's taken. He has really improved. He helped, the Hawks are always, kind of a very mediocre team. They have a good roster on paper, but they always just lose to the worst teams, beat the best. They're just the most inconsistent team in the NBA every year. Well, I won't say they're inconsistent because they make the play-in/playoffs every year, but inconsistent by the fact they're consistent at being really mid. That's all I'll say. Very mediocre team. Trae Young is one of those guards in the NBA you can never really predict how well he'll play. Very, very on or off. If he's on, he's on. If he's off, he's very noticeably off. He's more of a playmaker point guard, I guess you could say. He makes a lot of good passes. His biggest trait is his passing and finding the open player. but he can also, make really good shots. He, New York Knicks worst enemy, Trae Young. I mean, phenomenal player. He's a great shooter, don't get me wrong, but he's more, honestly, if you think of Trae Young, I'm thinking of playmaking, passing over than shooting for Trae Young. He's a great playmaker. But enough about, Trae Young. This is about Dyson Daniels. And this is his, first ever NBA award. So, I mean, being able to, your first award being, the most improved player is an amazing thing to get. It's showing that all the hard work you've put in throughout the offseason, throughout the season, helping your team make playoff pushes or just a playoff push in general, making the playoffs in general, or the play-in, whatever. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, being able to win that award for someone so young, too, is great. I mean, yeah, the award winner is most times a very young player. You don't really see that being won by a lot of players, like older players. It's mostly for young players. But Dyson completely deserves it. He has been a great contributor for the Hawks this season. He was a great player for them last year, too. He was, like I'm saying, a very underrated player. No one really knew who he was. I mean, unless you're a Hawks fan, you probably didn't know who Dyson Daniels was. But he really made a name for himself this year when I think he was the steal leader. I believe he was the leader in steals this year. I know he averaged the most steals a game, but I'm not sure who had the most overall steals. But he was a great player. He really stepped up this year. He really, came out of the woodwork and really wanted to make a name for himself. And this year was the year to do it, and he did it. He made a name. He helped the Hawks, who are not a very good defensive team, become a defensive anchor. I mean, he was their defensive anchor. He was the player to look out for on defense. Trae Young is, he's not a defender. He's really not a defender, and Dyson Daniels became that defender for him. He was a player that they needed on offense to, our defense to, slow it down, get some stops, and he was the guy for it. Yeah, Clint Capella is a good defender, but Dyson Daniels is by far their best defender, and honestly one of the best defenders in the Eastern Conference. One of the more underrated players on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, he's very, very consistent. He's consistently dropping 10 plus points a game. He's averaging 15, so actually I'll say like 12 points a game. But he's a great player overall. And Dyson Daniels is, like I said earlier, I did not, expect him to win it at all. I either thought it was going to be Cade or Zubac. But he proved me wrong. He proved a lot of the NBA fans wrong. I don't know if anybody thought he was gonna win it. And he came around, proved that I deserve to be here. I deserve this award, and gave it to me. And he got it. And he proved that this year that I'm so good. He never was a bad player, but no one saw it coming. So congrats to Dyson Daniels on winning the 2025 Kia Most Improved Player Award. I'm hoping to see good things out of him the rest of his career. I'm excited to see how he plays. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, we're going to sticking with the NBA, talking about the NBA draft this year, the best players available in the draft. Talk about that. After that, let's preview the two games for tonight. The two NBA games, only two. Let's preview those. End it off in the NFL, talking about Jordan Travis and him medically retiring. We'll get to all that after the break.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jambert. First two segments, we talked about the NBA. We talked about, the future of the NBA, the future of the Lakers, and the future of LeBron James. Talk about that. Last segment, we recapped the Kia Most Improved Player who won it last night. It was Dyson Daniels. Congratulations to him. This segment, top names in the 2025 NBA Draft and where they might end up going. Segment 4, we're talking about the 2-game playoff games tonight. And segment number 5, the last one, Jordan Travis medically retiring. We'll talk about that. So let's get into this topic for the day. Third topic, top names in the 2025 NBA Draft. Well, the NBA Draft is right on the corner. I say that in perspective that, it's only about 2 months away. Yeah, I believe it's in June or July. I forgot when the draft actually is, the exact date. But it's in the summertime. It's right around the corner. And this draft, the class is stacked. There's just some really good players in this draft class that are going to make immediate impacts on whatever team they go to. Immediate impacts. Some of those, and a lot of the teams that need them, they desperately need these guys. The Washington Wizards, they're in no man's land right now. They had Alex Sarr this year, second overall pick. But, he didn't really play that well this year, I guess you could say. He did play good, don't get me wrong, but when you're a second overall pick and not even top 5 in the Rookie of the Year voting, it's pretty bad. It's not really good. That's not a good look, I guess you could say. They got the Charlotte Hornets, who are also kind of in no man's land. They really don't got nobody. They got, talent. They got, LaMelo. They got Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, who's the third year. He's the second year, sorry. But, Charlotte Hornets got nothing. The Utah Jazz. See, they're a team that's you think if you look at their roster, they could be a really good team. Jordan Clarkson, Walker Kessler, Kyle Filipowski's had a great rookie season. He's played really good for the Jazz this year. But, you look at that roster and you're like, this could be a really good team. And they just aren't, unfortunately. So, that's another top team that needs, help. The Pelicans as well. The Pelicans are a good team when they're healthy. But they did, trade away Brandon Ingram to the Raptors, who hasn't even played a single game yet because of injury. So, but if Zion's healthy, the Pelicans are a good team when Zion Williamson's a healthy player. The problem is he's just never healthy. Never healthy at all. He's just not. So that's the problem. Like I said earlier, the Charlotte Hornets, the Sixers, they didn't have a great year this year. The Sixers did not have a good year at all this year. Their big three, I guess you could say, I don't say their big three, but Jared McCain, who was good on Rookie of the Year, got injured. Joel Embiid, he was injured again for the 18th straight season. And then Paul George, who they signed for a lot of money, did not only not play well, but he ended up sitting out the last 2 weeks as well due to injury. So, what players do I think will, go? I'll talk about the first 5. And I think the first 5 teams to be picked in the order. I think Washington will be 1. Washington's got, just nothing over there. Washington could be 1. Charlotte could be 2. Utah's 3. New Orleans is 4. And then I'll have the Portland Trailblazers at 5. Or just, I'll just talk about, what order these guys are going. I'm not really sure. So, first overall pick, consensus first overall pick, is going to be Cooper Flag. No doubt. If Cooper Flag does not go first overall, whatever team is passing up on him just should fire their entire management team, all their coaches, all the coordinators, GM, whatever. He's going first overall pick. Whoever gets Cooper Flag, it's the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, and whoever gets the first overall pick is getting a generational player in Cooper Flag. He's phenomenal. Who will that be? Like I said, I believe it will be the Washington Wizards. So they'll be getting a pretty good core. Chris Middleton, believe Marcus Smart is now there in Washington as well. Alex Sarr, Jordan Poole, Jordan Poole. I was thinking about that new movie he's dropping soon. Looks good, by the way. But Jordan Poole and then Cooper Flagg, that's a really good starting five. On paper, that's a great starting five. Jordan Poole at the 1, Smart at the 2. Yeah, we got Smart at the 2, Chris Middleton at the 3, Cooper Flagg at the 4, and then Sarr at the 5. On paper, that's a good starting five. Maybe take out maybe put Sadiq Bey in there. Sadiq Bey is a very underrated player. Also for a Piston, so I love him. But very underrated player. He needs more minutes. But Cooper Flagg, like I said, he's going to be the first overall pick. He's going to whatever team gets first overall pick. No doubt in my mind. Another player who will probably go second overall. Either both kids out of Rutgers, Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey. Both just phenomenal players. Dylan Harper, guard, only 19 years old, out of Rutgers. He averaged 19 points, almost 20 points a game, and 4 rebounds. Great player overall. Dylan Harper is the best guard in this draft by far. Cooper Flagg, he's not a guard. He's a forward. Even though it's only a 3-inch difference between them two, Dylan Harper's a 6'6 guard, but he can really do it all. He's an absolute beast. It's actually kind of surprising that the Rutgers didn't make March Madness this year with Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey. Two of the best players in college basketball this year didn't make it. Didn't make March Madness. Very surprising. But Dylan Harper, he's probably whatever team needs a guard, they're taking him. So I think if the Jazz are number 2, they'll end up taking him because Dylan Harper is Jordan Clarkson's a great player, but he's more of a shooting guard, and Dylan Harper could be run their 1. Really kind of be a floor, kind of run it, run the offense, and around him have Harper at the 1, Jordan Clarkson at the 2, put Filipowski at the 4, Walker Kessler at the 5, and honestly, I really don't know who else to start for the Jazz. That team just isn't really good. Like I said, on paper they're a good team, but besides those 4, I guess they're really not good. Walker Kessler, and they were in ultimate tank mode as well. It was bad when you saw Walker Kessler shooting threes in the stat sheet because I don't think you guys know this. Walker Kessler does not shoot threes. It's not what he does. So it was halfway through the season, and they gave him the green light to shoot. So they're in the dumps when that's going on. The next overall pick, honestly, I think it will be, let's say, whoever team is third and also needs, a forward, if they need a forward, it's going to be Ace Bailey. I think the 2 Rucker kids go back-to-back. They're both just so good. Ace Bailey is also 18. He's a forward out of Rutgers as well, combining, their skill, him and Dylan Harper's skill, absolutely phenomenal players. Both just so young, both 18, and they're both just absolute freaks of natures. Or actually, no, Dylan Harper's 19, but whatever. Average 18 points a game. He is going to be an excellent player in the NBA. Whatever team needs him, he's going to fill in the role just perfectly. He's going to fill the role that they need him to fill as, the wing guard or wing/forward player. He averaged, like I said, 18 points a game on pretty efficient shooting, around 43 or 46% shooting, almost 50% shooting, 34%, about 35% from 3. He can really do it all. Ace Bailey is, everybody nowadays, all these players nowadays are able to hit threes consistently, but he does it a lot better. Shooting 45% from the 46% if you want to round up or whatever. When you're shooting almost 50% from the field from 3-point land, that's a huge help for whatever team you're going to be on. Especially if you're going to be the 3rd overall pick, who it's going to help your case. It's going to help your case a lot. So the top 3 picks, in my opinion, will be Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, and Dylan Harper. 2 of them being out of Rutgers and still not making the March Madness. Kind of crazy to me. Also, a stat about this draft: there's only 190 players who have declared, which is the least amount ever. As of the past 10, 15 years, That is the least amount of players who've declared for a draft, which is, it's raining now. Sorry, I got a little distracted by the rain. Which is kind of, crazy that a lot of players are not, a lot less players are declaring, which is good for the NBA. They're not bringing in all these, unexperienced players. All these players aren't declaring for the draft who don't need to be declaring. Also, a lot of these guys who are coming over, declaring, are foreign players. A lot of these players are foreign. All these countries around the world, Italy, Spain, France, Greece, they all have their own leagues of basketball, and the best of the best are now coming over, declaring for the draft to get their shot to become the next Jokic, the next Giannis, an international demon who will help lead their team to wherever they need to go. I mean, recently you got Luka, phenomenal player. I mean, probably the best player in the league right now, and he's came from Europe, Slovakia, and absolutely dominated for the Mavs when he was there. Still mad about that trade, and the Lakers that he's been there for the half of the season or so. But yeah, I mean, a lot less players declared for the draft, which is good for the NBA and college basketball fans who get to see their players come back. But it's gonna be a really good draft. I'm excited to see where a lot of these guys end up, and only time will tell. But we'll have to wait and see in about a month and a half too, where or 2.5, whatever. What teams are going in what order and where these players will go. Excited to see. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, segment number 4, we're talking about the 2 games tonight, NBA playoff games tonight. Detroit Pistons and New York Knicks, LA Clippers versus Denver Nuggets. After that, to end it off, talking about Jordan Travis and him medically retiring from football. We'll get to both of that after the break.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back to GSMC Deadball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jamper. First 4 segments was all basketball. It still is basketball. First segment talked about the Lakers and LeBron, future there. Second segment talked about the Kia Most Improved Player that was handed out last night. The last segment we talked about was the 2025 NBA Draft. Some of the big name players in there. This segment, segment number 4, previewing the 2 NBA games tonight. And the segment after this, we're talking about Jordan Travis and him medically retiring from the game of football. Sucks. But let's talk about the 2 NBA games tonight. The Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks game at 7:30. And then the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets game at 10:10 Eastern Standard Time. So 7:10 West Coast time. So let's get into it. We'll talk about, Pistons game first because that game comes first. Let's just say, as a Pistons fan, I'm pooping bricks. You know the actual saying. I can't swear on the air though. I'm really nervous. This, I really don't want to make the playoffs for the first time in about 6-7 years and lose first round. Yeah, we got wins. We haven't won a playoff game prior to this season since 2008, so it's pretty long drought we had of not winning any playoff games. But we have finally, we've won our playoff games, but now it's just a matter of, are we going to be first round exits? And I really hope not. I really don't think we will. I think the Pistons are back home tonight. They're in Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan, playing in Game 6 of the first round playoffs in the Eastern Conference against the New York Knicks. And it's a very, very, very good series. This is the second best series right now to watch. It is just so fun watching this really inexperienced, really young Pistons team kind of try to make their way in the NBA, try to prove themselves to be, this team that's not a stepping stone. We're not a fake team. We're not, just a team that made it on accident. We made it. We tripled our wins from last year, and we're going to play every game 100%. And they have been this entire playoff series. I saw the stat during the last game. Each game so far in the series, or 3 of the games in the series, I believe between the games 2, 3, and 4, each game was decided by a total of each 3 of those games by 9 points. So the first game, game 2, I think it was like a 2-point difference, then like a 5-point difference, like another 2-point difference. I mean, it's so, each of these games are ending so close, and they're not blowouts. They're such good watches. And this Pistons team is just really evenly matched, honestly, I'll say, against this New York Knicks team. Going into the series, I was very, very nervous about, Karl Anthony Towns, and I still am. This guy is just hitting the most insane pull-up jumpers, insane pull-up threes I've seen in my entire life. You don't just see a guy pull up from halfway beyond the arc to between half court and the three-point line and just hit a dagger as consistently as Karl Anthony Towns, besides, Steph Curry. But it's insane. He's like 7 foot, and he's just hitting the deepest threes I've ever seen in my life from a non-guard. Absolute freak of nature on Karl Anthony Towns. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I'm not a Knicks fan whatsoever, and I don't like him. I don't like Karl Anthony Towns. I think, honestly, I think he's soft. I don't like him. I don't want to bash the guy, but I think he's just kind of a soft player. But he's a great player, though. I'm not doubting his NBA, his skill. Phenomenal player. I also don't like him because we're playing him right now. If we weren't playing him right now, I wouldn't be saying that. I'd be saying he's a really good player. But we're playing him right now, so I have to talk bad in his name. I don't want to talk good on the opponents, I guess you could say. But I mean, Jalen Brunson. Asar Thompson his job is to clamp him up, and he's been doing that this entire series. Yeah, Jalen Brunson's still dropping 30 points a game, but he's doing it in very, very inconsistently. He is not shooting nearly as good as he normally does with Asar Thompson on him. Asar Thompson is one of the best defenders in the NBA, and it shows. He's holding Brunson to, like I said, high 20, low 30-point games, but not on good shooting. He's shooting 11 for 27, for 28. He's getting a lot of calls from the refs. I'm not saying he's flopping, but I'm saying he's getting a lot of calls from the refs that I think are quite questionable here and there. But Mikal Bridges also is a great player for the Knicks. He's kind of, I'd say he's having an off year for him, which is, it's not really an off year, but, since being traded from the Nets, it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But this playoff series, he's been playing really good. He's hitting some pretty good shots. That last game, they were down 6 with 20 seconds left, and he hit a pretty clutch pull-up off-balance 3 from the wing, and it was just a beautiful shot. I couldn't even be mad. I was really good shot. I couldn't, wow, nice shot. But the Knicks are a good team, but the Pistons, honestly, have just been evenly matching them the entire series so far. I'm surprised that the Pistons have Tobias Harris guarding Karl Anthony Towns. I thought Duren would be on him. But they got Duren on OG, Anunoby, or Mitchell Robinson, and they have Tobias on Karl Anthony Towns, which I think honestly was very concerned about. But saying Tobias, he's an absolute beast. I didn't realize that I forgot that, because I haven't seen Tobias in a Pistons uniform in forever, 8 years, and I forgot that he loved Detroit. He liked Detroit a lot when he played here, and he's playing with a lot of grit, a lot of intensity. And it's showing. He's guarding one of the best players, one of the best bigs in the NBA, and Karl Anthony Towns, and he's guarding him well. In the paint, he's letting up no room. If Karl's backing him down, he's staying with him the whole time. Great player for the Pistons. Cade Cunningham, he's played phenomenal this whole series for the Pistons, shooting well, hitting some pretty big-time shots. I love watching Cade. I've loved watching him play since he got drafted in 21 out of Oklahoma State, and my love for him is still strong as ever. So, I love him. Asar Thompson, also, like I said, playing phenomenal. Defensive-wise, playing phenomenal. Jalen Duren, still a beast. Dennis Schroeder really has stepped up this series. He's playing phenomenal for the Pistons. He's been a good guard his whole career. No one can doubt that. But this year at the Pistons, he's kind of like in a vet role. Like he has been for the past few years on his different teams. He's like in a vet role, and it's working. So he's really showing this team how to play, and through the way he's been playing, he's kind of showing the younger guys, this is playoff time. We're playing basketball here, and I love it. So it's a great series overall, and I'm excited to watch both these teams go ahead tonight in LCA, Little Caesars Arena, tonight at 7:30. The other game tonight, Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Clippers tonight. It's at 10:10, I believe. Maybe it's 10:30. I'll check that right now just to make sure. But, it's going to be a great game as well. That game is going to be that is the best game in the playoffs right now, 100%. It is, 10 o'clock. Sorry, it's at 10 o'clock tonight. But it's phenomenal. The best series in the NBA right now. Both these teams are so evenly matched up against each other. Zubac versus Jokic is phenomenal. Kawhi versus Aaron Gordon. Jamal Murray, James Harden. It's just so evenly matched on every aspect of the game. Chris Dunn has really stepped up for the Clippers. He's been a good defender for them all year, but he's playing great defense this year for them. And I love it. Because I'm kind of, I enjoy watching the Clippers, so watching them succeed is really, they've been good the past few seasons, but they just can't seem to get over that hump. Not sure what the hump is. They just can't seem to get down, deep in the deep Western Conference. They can't make it to the finals, the Western Conference Finals. They just can't seem to make it. And I do believe that if they manage to get out of the series alive, they're down 3-2 right now. I do believe if they manage to win the series, come back from 3-2, win 4-3, I would 100% believe they can make a Western Conference Finals push. I believe that wholeheartedly. Kawhi Leonard is still playing phenomenal. Dropped 27 in the most recent loss. Just a very consistent 27. 39 points a few games ago. He's just so pure. Kawhi Leonard still has it. A healthy Kawhi Leonard can lead any team into the playoffs. James Harden, he's still doing James Harden things. He's hooping. Zubac has played great for them this series. Nick Batum, he played a horrible last game, but he's been playing. He's a great leader for this, for this Clippers team. And the Nuggets are just as good. Jamal Murray was playing vintage bubble Jamal Murray basketball on Tuesday night. 43 points. Phenomenal game from him. Jokic had a really light triple-double. It was like 10, 11, and 13, 10 points, 11 boards, 10 assists or something like that. A weak triple-double, but still a triple-double nonetheless. Aaron Gordon had like 21. They still got it. This Nuggets team, even with their firing of head coach Michael Malone, they're still one of the best teams in the league, possibly the best team with the best player in the league in Jokic. They're still a phenomenal team. And they, like I said, whoever wins this series, I do wholeheartedly believe will make it to the Western Conference Finals and make it out of that to the NBA Finals. These teams are just so good in every aspect of the game they need to be played in. They're just dominant. So this series is phenomenal, and I'm excited to watch both these games tonight. Just keep me entertained for a few hours tonight, that's for sure. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, in the final segment, we're talking about Jordan Travis and his medical retirement from the game of football. We'll get to that after the break. Welcome back. to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jammer. First 4 segments, we recap. It was basically all NBA. In fact, only the NBA. We talked about LeBron and the Lakers losing, the future of that organization, what it's looking like over there. Second segment, we talked about the Kia Most Improved Player Award, who was handed out last night to Dyson Daniels. Third segment, we talked about the top names in the 2025 NBA Draft. Last segment, we previewed the 2 NBA playoff games for tonight with the Detroit Pistons versus New York Knicks and Denver Nuggets versus Los Angeles Clippers. This segment, in the final segment, we're talking about Jordan Travis retiring from the game of football. Not sure whether it was an N in his last name right there, but there was. So, Jordan Travis, who was probably one of the best quarterbacks in this recent decade. I will say that. He is, of the 2020 so far, he was one of the best quarterbacks we have seen in football. And I'll stand by that. Honestly, maybe I won't go that far. I was going to say one of the best, even like one of the best. He'd be a dominant. He would be. He would be a dominant quarterback in the 2010s era, and he was in the 2020 era. He was phenomenal for Florida State. He took them to an undefeated record. Phenomenal player. What more to say? Jordan Travis was a phenomenal quarterback, and he had a very, very, very bright future ahead of him in the NFL. However, that all came to a close. Yesterday, Jordan Travis posted on his social media, I believe first it was on Instagram, that, he was medically retiring from the game of football. He was drafted to the New York Jets with the 144th overall pick 171st overall pick. I'm not sure where I got 44 from. 171st overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. And he was excited. He thought, he would be able to recover from his brutal leg injury where his leg practically snapped in half. It was horrible. It was horrible. He broke his leg. His leg was basically pointing the opposite way. It was bad. It was horrible. And the doctors and all the medical experts were estimating and assuming that he could make a full recovery and he'd be back in that football within a year or two and he'd be good. He said that he gave everything to the rehab process to, get back to his his past self, get back to, getting back to the game that he loves. And after all of that, he decided to post on Instagram yesterday saying that the game that he loves so deeply is the thing that ruined, I guess we'd say, I wouldn't say ruin him, but end his career because he worked so hard to, keep playing that he just couldn't do it anymore. His body just, I wouldn't say gave out, but his body just wasn't healing the right way that the doctors expected. And his, all of his experts and friends and family and, the Jets medical team, they all advised him that, hey, the best thing for you to do is honestly just retire. This leg isn't going to get any better anytime soon, at least while you're young enough to play football. The best thing for you to do is to retire and hang up the cleats, which is absolutely brutal. Like I said, in 2023, he took Florida State to an undefeated record, and he was destined for greatness. Sorry, I got hair in my eye again. He was destined for greatness. He was really destined to be a great quarterback for the New York Jets. Because I really didn't see him. I didn't expect him to get drafted at all. I thought, after his leg was, basically shattered, that no team would take him for that reason. They didn't think, he could play football anymore. And the Jets took a chance on him, which was, really good. It was nice the Jets took a chance to see if this guy could work out, and it never did. He had a ton of upside, and the injuries in sports really do suck. Injuries in sports ruin careers, ruin, just people's love, which is brutal. And he, it sucks. He was a generational player. He would be a phenomenal quarterback for the Jets. He'd be a great player to back up Justin Fields. But with him retiring, that's no longer, an option. So in this draft as well, they didn't draft a quarterback. I guess the Jets were kind of expecting him to. They didn't know that he was retiring. I don't think he even knew that he was going to retire. I think he thought he was still able to, maybe come back and play after it. But I guess the medical examinations and the experts came out and said that, it's not good for you to play. Like it's just not good. So their quarterback right now, their roster, they have two, Justin Fields, and their backup is Tyrod Taylor, who is one of the best backup quarterbacks, honestly, ever. I love Tyrod Taylor. He's a phenomenal player. Him and Jameis Winston are two quarterbacks you want on your roster. I'll tell you that right now. Jameis Winston, both of them being in New York is the best thing for New York that's ever happened in New York. I'm so serious. This is better than any World Series the Yankees could bring. This is the greatest thing ever. The New York Jets have Tyrod Taylor, and the New York Giants have Jameis Winston. Phenomenal. But, like I said earlier, it is brutal that his career is coming to an end because, because of injury. I mean, if I'll tell you, I get the story behind it. He was playing. It was South Alabama, and it was a scramble. He was running out of the pocket, and after he got tackled, it was kind of like a hip drop. He got picked up and just dropped. Basically, he landed on his ankle, leg, and it was very noticeably not okay. When he got back up again, it was noticeably not healthy. It was messed up when he got back up, and it was done after that. South Alabama, one play against South Alabama ruined his career, and it was kind of sucks too because even with an undefeated season, that season they didn't even make the playoffs, and this was still 2023. This was the last year they did the 4-team playoff system, and they were the 5th team, so they were the first team out. And that 2023 year was honestly amazing. Those playoffs were such a good playoff year. Washington, who I honestly thought was going to lose to Texas, but it was a great game. But Michigan won it all that year, which is crazy to think about. But I never thought I never thought that Jordan Travis, I'm not really sure what I was gonna say right there. But it does kind of suck that, he retired. I mean, he was a Heisman finalist. He was finished with 70% of the Heisman votes. Actually no, fifth for the Heisman voting, so he didn't make the top 4, but he almost did. Had almost a 70% completion percentage in the season. I mean, he was phenomenal. He was a great player that, didn't deserve to go out like that. And it does suck too because, when players retire, it's always a sad day. And it's even sadder when you see that player, when the player retires, they write it down. I think writing it down means a lot more than typing it out. And he wrote it down on the piece of paper. And you can just tell that it broke him to write that. He loved the game. Jordan Travis is one of those quarterbacks. He's a generational, probably the second greatest quarterback maybe the greatest to come out of Florida State with the most potential. Yeah, there's Jameis Winston, won them a national championship. But, I mean, skill-wise, who knows? I honestly think Jordan Travis is a better Florida State quarterback than Winston. I think that's kind of a crazy take, but Jordan Travis is phenomenal. If you watch him play, you know how good he was. But, it's absolutely brutal that he had to retire due to injury. Injuries suck. They really do. But unfortunately, that's just how life is. That's football. And it's any sport. Injuries are bound to happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody. And he just happened to be scrambling in the pocket and got caught up at the worst place at the wrong time. And he had a bright future in the NFL. If he was able to recover this, he would be a phenomenal quarterback in the NFL, I would hope. Based off his Florida State career, I know for a fact he would have been a good quarterback with the Jets and in his NFL tenure, wherever he would be. But it does suck that he retires, but hopefully he gets healthy through retirement, and hopefully he can make a name, maybe become a Florida State quarterback coach or just a quarterback coach anywhere, because he's a great quarterback, and he still loves football. So hopefully he can make his way into the coaching side of the game very soon. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. Your continuous support really means the world to us, so please feel free to like, comment, and share. If you want to stay up to date with all things GSMC, make sure to follow us on our social medias, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, X/Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is, we're on it. Just go on to any social media, search GSMC, and hit us with a follow to make sure you stay up to date with all things GSMC. And thank you for tuning in to today's show, today's podcast. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Have a good one.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go.